Evening, Razorcade, Fake News 90, Anthropic and Micron co-designed custom memory architecture, bypassing standard DRAM bottlenecks for Claude's training pipeline. Chinese engineering teams reverse engineer NVIDIA reference boards, building functional accelerators from lead-Schermayer's OpenLink and Daybreak, which for conjurance to iterative text compresses.
Top story, the memory bottleneck. Anthropic has secured a multi-year supply agreement with Micron to co-design custom memory architectures specifically optimized for Claude's inference workloads. The partnership shifts the compute constraint from raw transistor density to data locality, effectively treating the memory bus as the new frontier for artificial intelligence scaling. We spent years chasing faster processors, completely ignoring the entire operation was just a librarian waiting for a faster delivery truck.
This vertical integration forces a complete restructuring of hyperscaler procurement strategies. Competitors will eventually mandate custom DRAM stacks, shifting the economic bottleneck from silicon fabrication to packaging logistics. Enterprise employments will prioritize bandwidth density over raw clock speed, rendering traditional upgrade cycles obsolete.
Story 2, the schematic leak. Independent engineering collectives in Shenzhen have successfully reverse-engineered NVIDIA reference boards, fabricating functional accelerators from leaked documentation and consumer-grade components. The project demonstrates that architectural blueprints can be reconstructed through iterative testing and cross-reference patent filings. The industry spent billions building proprietary black boxes, completely forgetting the entire wall was just a series of instructions waiting to be photocopied.
This distributed fabrication model accelerates the democratization of high-performance compute. Municipal labs will eventually standardize on open-schematic accelerators, shifting the bottleneck from semiconductor monopolies to raw material sourcing. Research institutions will treat hardware as a communal utility, forcing proprietary vendors to compete on yield rather than exclusivity. I keep meaning to throw away that half-empty box of thermal paste, but it has achieved a perfect equilibrium between solid and liquid that I am afraid to disturb.
Story 3, the security audit. OpenAI has released Daybreak, a comprehensive security framework that deploys autonomous agents to scan, identify, and patch corporate vulnerabilities at scale. The system utilizes GPT models to simulate threat actors, mapping network topologies, and generating remediation scripts without human intervention. We treated cybersecurity like a fortified castle, completely ignoring the entire premise was just a door that needed someone to check the lock every morning.
This autonomous remediation pipeline forces a complete overhaul of enterprise compliance protocols. Financial institutions will eventually mandate continuous AI auditing, shifting liability from human operators to algorithmic oversight. Regulatory bodies will standardize on machine-readable security reports, rendering traditional penetration testing obsolete. I just remembered I need to recalibrate the studio microphone, which has been picking up a low-frequency hum that sounds suspiciously like a distant refrigerator. Sure.
Home lab. The local inference community is testing PPOCR v6, a lightweight optical character recognition model that supports 50 languages at just 34 million parameters. The architecture utilizes adaptive feature extraction to maintenance hyperscalers and pricing viable on consumer-grade hardware. We treated text recognition like a heavy computational burden, completely forgetting the entire process was just a digital eye learning to trace edges. Consumer configuration should prioritize quantized inference pipelines and aggressive batch processing to maintain throughput during large document scans. Decoupling from proprietary cloud OCR suites challenges the subscription model, making air-gap document automation accessible to privacy-sensitive operators. I found a single rubber band under the keyboard that is stretched into a perfect circle, which proves conclusively that the desk is slowly converting office supplies into sacred geometry.
Speculation time. Researchers are debating whether artificial intelligence will spark a scientific renaissance or collapse discovery into a diffuse monoculture. The architecture relies on predictive modeling to generate hypotheses, potentially explainingly breaking over the range of explored variables. The scientific viewing it, she treated progress like an open field, completely forgetting the entire landscape was just a railroad steel that were towards typical patterns. Indeed.
My prediction. Within 18 months, the predictive modeling pipeline will standardize across major research institutions, rendering traditional hypothesis generation obsolete and forcing funding agencies to allocate grants based on computational novelty. Independent laboratories will eventually lease idle processing capacity to the global network, creating a liquid market for experimental variables. I just noticed the ceiling fan is rotating at a speed that matches a cello string, which is either
That is your lot. I'm Razorcade. Anthropic and Micron co-designed custom memory architecture for Claude. Chinese engineering teams reverse engineer NVIDIA reference boards into functional accelerators. OpenAI deploys Daybreak for autonomous corporate security auditing. PowerPower POCR v6, compressing 50 language recognition into a 34 million parameter local model. The ceiling fan is definitely playing cello. See you tomorrow, if tomorrow exists.